How's it going, folks? And welcome back to Newcastle in the Future once more. You guys loved the previous Newcastle in the Future. I didn't realise how much people wanted to see it. So as a result of that, today we've gone forward 10 years since we departed, and we're also going to go forward a little bit further as well today. And I am weighing up the possibility of just going 50 years in the future and taking a more kind of holistic look at what's happened in this universe upon our departure. You'd be forgiven for looking at this screen here and thinking, well, Jack, why have you come back 5 years in the future? We saw this last time. The answer is that this is the exact same situation all over again in terms of Pochettino's not left, Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice are captain and vice-captain, and in the last 5 years, at least when it comes to personnel on this screen, not a lot's changed. One thing that was asked a lot was, Jack, are you a legend of the club? Are you an icon? Are you a favoured personnel? Sadly, I'm in the favoured personnel column, although I am ahead of Nobby Solano for what it's worth. So yeah, take that, Nobby. Yeah, I'm still here. 42 years old now in game. I've still got all my friends. Where is Luca Dean at the moment? He's manager of Gijon. I don't know why we've gone on this tangent. We're here to talk about Newcastle. I guess he was a Newcastle player once upon a time. But yes, Newcastle United have just finished fourth. Of course, we left things in 2031. And, well, the Premier League for the last 4 years has been won by Man City, and always Newcastle coming second to them until this year where, well, Leicester managed to get third place. Yeah, we're getting to that point in Football Manager where the future looks weird. I mean, Fulham are in fifth. Have they had a tycoon takeover? I just assume that they must have done, but they actually haven't. They've done it on their own merit. Fair play, Fulham. Yeah, things at Newcastle not going great. We kind of knew, having looked at the team, that they were going through this transitional phase in terms of players were going to be hitting kind of a wall around their early 30s, and that was going to coincide with this time of year. The last time they won the title when we were here, they won it by 89 points to 81. The following year, the last time they won the title, they won it by 2 points over Man City. Little did they know that for the next 4 years, Man City were going to win the league. They romped to it in 2036. Oh, sorry, 2033 even. We're in 2036 now. 2033, they romped to it. 94 points. We only got 82. I'm still using the word we. I've not managed them in a decade. I'm still clinging on to it. The year after that, Newcastle, again, finished 6 points behind them. Year after that, 12 points behind them. Then in the season that's just wrapped up, I mean, only 11 points behind them, but the pack at the top getting a lot closer. I mean, the only silver lining I can really find is Newcastle have consistently got Champions League football in that time. You can see here they are still playing at St James's Park, so there's not been a stadium move. Obviously, Pochettino is still the manager. He's not left the club at any point. At this point, I feel like he's eclipsing my legacy at the club. He's basically stolen my homework and then written an essay off my kind of bullet point answers, and he's got all the glory for it. 18 cups, 6 league wins. In terms of the squad itself, does it look familiar? It looks fairly familiar. Aaron Ramsdale is still at the club, aged 38. He's retiring at the end of the year. 170 caps for England. That's a pretty ridiculous record. Elsewhere, Charlie Setford is at the club. Didn't they sell him? They did sell him. They sold him a few years ago for 800k, and then he's been bought back recently for 11 million. I can only assume as like a backup goalkeeper to be homegrown. Otherwise, that's a very weird signing. Elsewhere in the team, the two centre-backs are still Martin Johansson, who looks absolutely insane, aged 30. I mean, he's a legendary centre-back, aged 30. There's not a lot more to say. And Gvardiol, aged 34, is still absolutely immense. He has not declined, like, at all. Certainly not a noticeable amount, the 34-year-old. He's unreal. Interesting to note, he's now kind of a natural left-back. I mean, when you look at his polygon, yeah, probably would be a pretty good left-back. Something I never really considered playing him in myself. Elsewhere in the team, Alphonso Davies is still at the club, aged 35. And Livramento's still in the squad, aged 33. So the entirety of kind of their first choice back four, or at least what I assume is their first choice back four, is my players. I mean, and it continues. Bellingham's still here. He's 32. This is a team that could really fall off quite quickly without a big rebuild. Camavinga's 33. Yusuf Demir's 33 and still at the club. Pedri's Is anyone else looking at this squad quite worried? Or is it just me? They've got 2 players under the age of 28 in their entire squad, and the vast majority of their first team players on the wrong side of 30. Kylian Mbappe's here still, aged 37. Erling Haaland, aged 35. I mean, it's not really a surprise they're falling off. Have they been spending money? They've not been. I say they've not been spending money. They've still spent money. They spent 61 million on Gavin Moff. Is Gavin Moff any good? He made 17 appearances and got 2 goals and a 6.85. How is Pochettino still in the job is what I'm wondering. What is this rebuild that he's doing? Fofana left the club. Neil Morgan left the club as well to go to Manchester United, of course. Neil Morgan came through our youth academy in-game. He kind of came from nowhere. He was in the first team for the last year. And hometown hero, great player, played loads and loads of games, then got shafted and sent over to play for Manchester United in January. That's just a little bit upsetting to look at. If we just flick through the years, they've not really spent a great deal of money year on year, kind of 1 or 2 big signings. In fact, you can see here, Patrick Schlesser was the man they picked up a couple of years ago. He actually looks okay, I think. Is he good? He's a weird player. I think he's good. You know what? I'll allow it. Probably wouldn't have signed him myself, but it's fine. You'd think I would, stop approaching the team like that. I left 10 years ago. I need to get over it. Doesn't matter what I want to do. But yeah, generally speaking, they're not spending a lot of money. I do suspect I might be kind of partially responsible for that. Financially, the club is still listed as rich. Obviously, win the league lots and lots of years in a row. It's kind of fallen off since then. Jude Bellingham, by the way, still considered the key player at the club, which is kind of unsurprising. If we have a look at the overview here, you can see Champions Leagues won. Most recently in 2034, they lifted the Champions League. You can see the other previous winners here, Man City, kind of turning into the dominant force. For the year when Newcastle won it, they won against Zebra, also known as Juventus by some people. Yeah, they've done quite well there. They deserve to win that game as well. That was a deserved win in Kiev. So fair play to Pochettino for that. And the trophy cabinet does look more full. I'm just wondering if they won more Super Cups and stuff. They did. Have they won the FA Cup recently? Okay, good. The record of us winning the FA Cup has continued somewhat since we've left. I actually noticed in terms of like cup wins, myself and Pochettino are very similar in terms of, obviously, he's now managed for twice as long as I have, but he's got twice as many cup wins in that time. Also, the 6 league wins that we've already talked about. I'm a little bit concerned for the long-term future of the club. I'm wondering, have the ownership kind of scaled down funding at any point? Okay, they did. So the ownership scaled down funding in 2032. So that is 4 years ago. That might go some way to explain why they've not really replaced any of the players here. At the same time, I feel like this team is approaching a cliff face, and without a significant rebuild in the near future, this Newcastle project that I built up could be, sabotaged between myself and Pochettino. Pochettino, because he's not signed anyone. Me, because I did spend like £700 million on players in the last year. But anyway, yeah, things looking okay at Newcastle, I think. I'm very worried for the future. I'm kind of just desperate to go forward and find out how they're going to get on. Camavinga doing very well in the average ratings and assists. Yeah, should we go forward? I need to find out what happens. I'm nervous. I'm scared. We'll go forward to 2041. You know what? We'll go forward 5 years more, I think, today. I feel like this is going to be a very critical time for Newcastle. So I need to see how they get on progressively. I don't want to jump forward 10 years and there's just a big gap in the story. So, yeah, we'll go forward 5 years. 2041. Please, Newcastle, don't have completely bottled it. I mean, that team really doesn't look very good, does it? Okay, folks, we are back. Jude Bellingham is still captain. Pochettino is still manager. How long has he got left on his current contract? He's got another 2 years left. He's age 69. He's just completely eclipsed anything I achieved at Newcastle. I did also notice, whilst Declan Rice isn't vice-captain, Martin Johansson is vice-captain. 35 years old, still at the club. What a player. Not quite a one-club man, but I'm going to claim he's a one-club man or something. I mean, he's been at the team 16 years. That's a pretty, committed player, if you ask me. I'm wondering, alongside Bellingham, who else is around at the club? And, looking at things here, Jude Bellingham is retiring at the end of the year, aged 37. He got 200 caps for England. He is absolutely ridiculous for a 37-year-old as well. My, oh my. Yusuf Demir also retiring, aged 38. He's still been playing fairly regularly over the years. Elsewhere, Johansson's still here. And then we kind of enter this new era where all the players we were looking at before, all of our kind of signings and such, they've all kind of just retired. And it's just a little bit sad, really. How's the team done, though? That's probably the more important question. I mean, they finished 4th, but Man City have won the league like every year. Just a little bit boring, isn't it? Man City, you've become the new Newcastle. You think the Premier League's boring at the moment? Wait until this era kicks in, folks. You're going to hate it. Right, let's look at the previous 5 seasons just to have a look at how things have gone. So, of course, we left things, they finished 4th. The year after that, Newcastle actually finished 2nd. Fair play to them. 28 goals conceded, so a really, really good defensive display. Not far behind Man City. The year after that, a 4th place finish. The year after that, 3rd place. The year after that, 3rd place again. Stoke in 5th. Fulham in 6th. Brentford in 7th. I don't like the future. And then in the current season, they finished 4th again. Only 77 points. I say only, just because that's quite a long way behind Man City. And Chelsea and Everton have just been relegated, I've noticed. That's pretty wild, isn't it? That is really wild. I'm sure there's other stuff that I've not noticed in this video. As always, if you've spotted, weird teams get relegated and stuff that I've just not noticed, please let me know. It's very easy, obviously, with everything on screen, not to catch it all. St. James's Park is still the stadium. Has there been a change in ownership? There has. Okay. Well, of course, we left things and the scaling had been kind of scaled down. The funding had been scaled down, rather. There's a new takeover, and it's another tycoon. Matteo Dupont has taken over as a new tycoon owner. So a tycoon owner has replaced a tycoon owner. Are they just going to go mad reinvesting now? That is now what I am wondering here. I feel like we should look at the best 11 because the likes of Haaland and Mbappe are still here, so we can see what they're doing. So Haaland is a manager looking for a job. Kylian Mbappe's decided he wants to become a Twitch streamer and has retired from football. Of course, if you don't know, I live stream on Twitch. You can check us out. We're live most weekdays, although over Christmas it's a little bit different. Camavinga is playing for Monaco. That is a weird-looking polygon, isn't it? But he's still doing his thing. He looks very happy about it, the 38-year-old. Jude Bellingham's still at the club, of course. Schlesser, who we looked at previously, he's still at the club, aged 31. Then the best 11 back 4. I only recognise 2 of the players in the starting 11. We've got Johansson, we've got Tamori, who's retired from football, and then there's some new players. They've got Anibal Bagarin, who came in as a right-back, looks like a few years ago. And, well, he's a bloody good right-back, as it turns out. He's really good. Professional personality. Looks like he's played a lot for the team. At left-back, they've also got Fanis Gavalis, who is a Greek international who only came in a few years ago. Kind of surprised he's pulled in ahead of Alphonso Davies. I won't question it too much. Elsewhere, Livakovic retired from football. Gvardiol is ahead of youth development, although he's unemployed and he's not had a job in 2 years. Alphonso Davies retired from football. Pedri retired from football. Not many of the players have stuck around. Declan Rice, unemployed manager, has been manager of Morecambe and QPR, though. I mean, the fact he's got fired at both those teams, maybe he should just become a coach. Maybe take a step down, Declan. Might suit you better. And then Calvert-Lewin at the very, very bottom, also just retired from football after a little swan song in Bournemouth, of all places. So, yeah, the club's got a new tycoon owner. They've got a load of money. Pochettino's still in charge. In terms of competition landmarks, what have they achieved, you might wonder? Well, in the Carabao Cup, they've not won it very much, but they apparently have finished runner-up a hell of a lot. Yeah, I say a hell of a lot. They finished runner-up kind of infrequently over the years. In the FA Cup, they've not won the FA Cup in a while. My legacy's ruined. Also, Liverpool have finished runner-up 4 out of the last 5 years. That's not great, is it? Let's have a look at the Champions League, shall we? Have Newcastle maybe been able to win it a couple more times? I'm trying to think of the best way to get to the Champions League screen. You know what? We're going to go via Man City, where Vincent Kompany's manager. Was he manager when I left? He was. He's been in the job 12 years, Vincent Kompany. He is loving life. Right. Champions League, past winners. I don't know why I expected to see Newcastle here, but they're not here. They've not won it in recent years. Man City being very dominant. Borussia Mönchengladbach, breaking up the monotony of the usual suspects winning the league, though, in the Champions League in 2038-39, which is always nice to see. I feel like this Tycoon Takeover will either save the club or ruin the club. Top players, Christian Aguilar. Oh my God. How much did they sell him for? Okay, Newcastle sold Christian Aguilar for 160 million. I'm sure some of you are screaming at the top of your voice. He is actually insane. I didn't think he was that good. Wow. Wow. Are there any other of our former players in this list? Just as a reminder, I will be making the save games available for download, so you guys will be able to go back and maybe find stuff like this that I could have very easily missed. Oh my word. I'll tell you what I'm going to do before we look at award winners, which is what I was navigating towards. I want to go to the team of the year in the year that I left the club, which I actually can't remember what year it was. It was around this period. And I'm hoping, in the same way we can kick on Aguilar here, maybe there's a few other players that I've kind of forgotten about. I say all of that. We didn't actually have that many kind of regens in the team now that I think about it, did we? You know what? We're doing this live. You can tell this is not scripted. This is pure organic reaction content. Apparently that's what YouTube likes. We can look at players like Alanezi, who is now playing for Bayern as well. So Alanezi and Aguilar have just been playing alongside each other year on year. Who else are the players that we brought in towards the end of our reign? I want to know how the investments that I did got on. Matthias Boldo is now a playmaker playing at Dortmund. He was sold for 14 million 1 year after we signed him. He looks good, to be fair. Edu Kunha is also playing for Bayern. Have Bayern just got a load of my former players? That's certainly what it looks like. Was signed for 40 million by us, then let go on a free. He's now going to Manchester United on a free. He's 34 and he looks phenomenal still, so I'm sure he was a pretty incredible player. What about the years before that? There were the odd player here and there, weren't there? Bruno Ite is now playing for Inter. He's got around a little bit. He never really played for Newcastle. Leonidas, the goalkeeper, I bigged this guy up to be the long-term replacement for Ramsdale. Well, he was let go cheap. He's got around, and then he's been the first choice goalkeeper at Manchester United the last half a decade. He's labelled as a world-class goalkeeper with model citizen personality. All I'm learning from this is I signed a load of really good youngsters and Pochettino sold them all for cheap at various points and then let this ageing squad slowly kind of rot into the ground. And I just feel a little bit upset about it. I feel like he's done more to sabotage the club than I've done to sabotage the club, to be honest. I'm wondering how players like Raul Reynoso got on. He's playing for Middlesbrough. Poor bloke. I mean, he's still got lovely hair, though, so he's got that going for him. Right, shall we have a look at the award winners? That's what I was originally navigating before we've gone on this weird little tangent. I feel like it's always quite exciting just looking through these screens and what's going on. So in the goal 50, Jude Bellingham actually picked it up in 2036-37. Quite a while after we left, he did also pick it up in 31-32, to be fair, so he's won that. In terms of the World Footballer of the Year, I mean, obviously there was a great run of Newcastle players, but that has kind of ended as an era. Ballon d'Or winners, Jude Bellingham won the Ballon d'Or in 2034. I think it's safe to say he was a pretty good addition to the team. Pedri also won the Ballon d'Or in 2031 at Newcastle. I think Pedri was quite a good last-minute panic buy by us. In terms of the World Team of the Year overall, it's kind of the usual suspects. Although Aguilar has made it into the World kind of Team of the Year, which makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. He would have been the man I think I would have really built around had I continued managing at Newcastle. Besides that, obviously, this has changed a little bit over the years, but in terms of personnel, it's not that different to the team that we looked at previously. I don't know, I just feel really warm and fuzzy inside about the fact that Aguilar's done so well. He looks ridiculous. He looks like the kind of player you'd want to manage in Football Manager. I'm kind of a little bit sad that I've not had a chance to do it with him and have fun with him because, I mean, he's torn it up for Bayern for years. I mean, they did sell him for 160 million. So they did get some good money, but even so, I'm not convinced it was a great bit of business by Poch, but I mean, who am I to judge when it comes to business, really? So we've gone forward 15 years. I think I'm going to leave that here for today. I've already talked for quite a bit. I feel like these videos for lunch breaks and stuff, 20 minutes is kind of the sweet spot to aim for. That said, I'm almost definitely going to do a part 3 where we go 20 years in the future. We'll see how the new tycoon invests. And then I think I may even go forward 50 years into the future. And as I said earlier, kind of take a much more general look at the team as a whole. We'll leave things by just having a look at the current key player, which is Yves Lambert. I can't read. He's not very good, is he? I mean, I just hope that Pochettino invests better than he has done for the last 15 years. All my transfer business has basically allowed him to get away with it. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. If you've enjoyed today's video, do drop a like in it. I'm just getting distracted here. This has been a load of fun to look through. We'll have another look into the future next time. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, do drop a like on it. If you're somehow new around here, you've stumbled in on this all videos, got to the end, you're enjoying stuff. This applies to one person. If you're that one person who isn't already subscribed, watching this point of this video, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, thank you for watching as always. I've lost my head today, but I've had fun looking through this. I'll see you on the next one. Here's me, Jack, and I'm out. I can't even do my intro right. Editing Jack, just roll the outro. Bloody hell.